Welcome back to Jacksonville Buzz, Ask the Expert. I'm Steve Strum. This morning we have Alfe Corona from alfecorona.com. A lot of stuff to talk about. I got a whole bunch of questions about the cybersecurity stuff that I want to ask you that we didn't get a chance to cover on a previous segment. But I've seen the book. I've got the book, all about how to be the best you. What is this belt buckle, man?
Yeah, so I thought of bringing this belt buckle because it has a lot of meaning to me, and probably anybody who knows the submarine community, they know the value of this. It's probably priceless because this is two dolphins facing each other. There's a ship in the middle. This is the submarine breast insignia of the U.S. Navy. So for you to earn this, you need to qualify submarines. And how this ties into what we're talking about here, this is a way of identity in that community. Once you have this in your uniform, this insignia, you are showing to the community that you are able to save the ship and them in case of fire, flooding, and attack, because now you're qualified in the ship, all these different watches to protect the United States of America and those brothers and sisters next to you.
So for those that don't know, you piloted, is that the right way to say it?
Yes.
Helmed
Yes.
submarines for the United States Navy for many years before going into private practice after civil service in the private sector. And your belt buckle insignia, akin to like an airborne insignia. A lot of people probably know right. What the airborne looks like.
Yes.
That's obviously the opposite of airborne because you're in the water,
a
1,000 meters down. And so that helps give you an identity. When we talk about identities, right, a lot of stuff that you do in cybersecurity protects against this.
Yes.
Like I identify as, hi, I'm Steve Strum. I do financial services stuff. I do this TV show. I speak around the country. And, I hopefully have a fairly decent brand name. A lot of stuff to protect, right? So tell us a little bit about identity that you work so hard to create and what you do to help protect people.
Yes, so the identity is to making sure as a business and as a either contractor or employee working for a company is that we need to maintain high standards of protecting the information and assets, because the most important thing that is not so common that people say it, but it is the obvious, is the people. We need to protect the people, and that's the most valuable asset. So that's where we come in with my services, providing a method and plans to reduce their risk to ransomware, malware, any cybersecurity attacks, and incident response solutions.
Well, and let's talk a little bit about this malware thing, right? So by trade, right? So we do this television show to highlight what other people are doing, which are fabulous in the community. But professionally, I serve in the financial services industry. I get a test email from my supervision team probably once a month. And the email basically says, hi, I'm the IRS, and I'm going to come get you unless you click on this link. Now, it maybe not that dramatic, but it basically says something that freaks you out, like, oh my gosh, click here. And that is a phishing scam. And of course, you are the type of person to help people not be subject to phishing or ransomware. What is phishing? What is malware? What is ransomware? And how the heck do we protect against that?
Yeah, so phishing is an email that you get, phishing email, you get it, and it pretends to be a real email. So a lot of times, so there's a whole underground community and businesses underground that are illegal from hackers that all they do is social engineer the perfect phishing email for targeted people that they want to, which connects to ransomware. So these phishing emails is a fake email pretending to be real to entice the reader of that email to open it and download an attachment or click on the link in that email, and then your computer or device is automatically hacked with a malware. Then your other question was about, what was it, malware?
Malware and ransomware.
Malware and ransomware. So malware is what comes in phishing, what what comes through. It could be through phishing. It could be through a USB drive. It could be from a bad website that you visited that has malware on their links or attachments. It could come from anything that you just have a connection with your device. That's malware. And the malware, there's many types of malware that, there's logic bombs, there's different kinds of attacks that you don't see it right away on your device, that you see it maybe months later on that your device is no longer working properly, and that was something that you opened. It could be months ago. So that there's ways around it so that you don't suspect from where it came from. They hide their tracks. And then the ransomware is once the malware hits your device, one of the ways that malware comes in is that the ransom locks your computer or device, and it tells you a message such as, your device has been locked. Now you gotta provide us 10 Bitcoins to unlock you. And whatever that looks like, so whatever the value of Bitcoin is at the time, they did that because most likely they know that you have something very valuable to you in that device that they can sell or expose to the internet, whether that is, for example, naked photos or some confidential information about a business that you're doing with somebody else that you don't want your competitors to know. And they know. That's why they do it, because they know you have something valuable. So that's the ransomware.
And these are just a couple of examples.
Right.
Like, we're going to hang you on our website, on the iwannabuzz.com website, to click out to alfecorona.com. If people are wanting to reach out to you, and these are things that you can help prevent, or at least educate, right?
Yes.
I absolutely fathom, because I start sitting here thinking about, gosh, well, there's Facebook, and there's Instagram, and there's email, and there's this, and there's this, and then there's a bunch of the apps that I don't even know that my kids talk about, and I'm like, I don't even know what that is.
Right.
All of these ways are entry points for people to do something disastrous to you.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why we need to, cybersecurity, there's a dilemma right now because the market has shifted big time in 2023 with big companies shifting their ways of how they are, organizational structure changes, they're doing that. So cybersecurity is still on high demand and will still be on high demand for many years, because we need to protect our information and data. And now with artificial intelligence, it's going to be more than ever. We need to make sure that there's no other fake profiles of us out there pretending to be us.
So as a final thought then, in your world, what worked last year won't work this year, and what works this year from cybersecurity's perspective may not work next year.
Yes.
So it's not like, hey, Alfie, come on in, fix my thing, push all these buttons, and life is good. This is something that requires ongoing attention to protect the most important piece of your entire business, which is your data.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for joining us, man. Always a pleasure. Guys, thanks so much for joining us on Ask the Experts. If you like us, share us, and remember, live with gratitude.